Good morning all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, February 4th. We are looking at the last 2 days of the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader. And no, this isn't a replay. We are literally trading right back what we said last night. 19 out of 26 time frames within a dime. Look at this morning. They pushed down a little bit right to around M's low. This is a random tick here. I'm not sure. I don't think I would count that right now. And we're right back to where we're trading. So until we get out of this mess, we're going to have to trade balance rules within these 2 days. Russell finished strong yesterday, even though they sold off in L&M, right back towards the top of yesterday's range. Triple Qs, which had a very disappointing most of the day, actually. They tried in the afternoon and then just failed miserably. Right now, they're above M's range. So I think that's key for them. If they stay above M, they should get back to their POC and test the afternoon rally high. If they get any acceptance into M's range, well then, obviously, yesterday's low is in jeopardy. They did go out with a price probe. Now, there's still 75 minutes to go prior to the opening, but right now the price probe's being rejected. As for us, right now the volume's 550,000, so we should do a million shares again. We've been doing at least a million pre-market, which is pretty good. One note on M period, we touched on briefly last night how it's basically flushed 7 days in a row and like 9 out of the last 10. And what I've found going back is most of those times M never even took out L's high. So we were one time framing down. There was one or two instances where it popped above L's high and then failed miserably. Something to keep an eye on. I also think it's a trade that everybody's starting to see, so I'd keep a very close eye on that if at some point we're going to get one of these M periods that do the exact opposite in reverse and rip higher. So there is a trade in there at some point again, but just be careful that it's not the counter trade. As far as today's destinations, again, you should have everything I gave you. The only thing I have new is the overnight high and low. Right now, my overnight high is 383.16. The overnight low, now they have a 381.20, but again, I believe it's this tick that they added. Oh, no, it's even lower than that. I'm going to use right now as my overnight low 381.80, which was N's low from yesterday. As far as a game plan, imbalance, in value, smack in the middle where we've traded 19 out of 26 time frames is no trade at all. So again, until either side can prove, they can get acceptance either above the last 2 days highs or acceptance below the last 2 days low, I'm going to look to fade these things. So if we make a new high today and cannot go trend, I will fade it. I will fade the new high. There's nothing stopping them from getting to the all-time high. We have the 10 wide POC and the all-time high. But we had tremendous trouble just filling that gap. Same on the downside. Yesterday they tried. They couldn't even get to the seconds low. Don't forget, we have a pretty sizable gap down here. So unless you get some new, fresh, longer-term sellers or some really aggressive short-term sellers, you might not fill that gap the first time. So again, unless they prove they want to go trend either to the downside below yesterday's the two lows or above the previous 2 days highs, I would look to fade them. This is a market right now waiting for more market-generated information. We're in balance in the weekly. Daily is up, but we didn't get much distance away. But we are one time framing up, and the gap is the main focus. And that's the only chart I'll show you this morning is the daily. It is up, one time framing up 2 days. Again, if you come out of it to the upside, we have a very good chance of testing the all-time high. But I think we're going to need trend to do it because they've shown zero ability to get anything going unless they hold single prints, right? And yesterday they had a chance and they failed miserably and gave it up. And the same on the downside. There's been no selling either. So if we take out Tuesday's low, we see if we get any acceleration to close the gap. If we don't, I'll look to fade it. Those are two key levels to think right now. I would trade balance rules for these 2 days. So if we can't get above the balance, fade them or below it. If you come out of balance and have single prints, then you go with the trade either with the long or the short. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.